Okay, this is already measured out the coconut oil, and I started my video over. I started on a new video. I was already like 5 minutes into the other one, I believe. Probably not that far along, but I had to go tend to Samantha and Annabelle, and there is not a pause button on my laptop camera. I don't know why, but there's just not one. There's only stop recording. So I've already measured out the coconut oil. I'm putting coconut oil in my laundry bar because I only had a little bit of coconut oil left. It's like just 6 ounces. And my coconut oil jar, it's not a jar, it's plastic, but I dropped it and it busted. Like it's got a crack in it. So I'm going to use some coconut oil because I don't want a mess on my hands if it melts, if it gets warm in here. So I already measured that out in 6 ounces. And I am actually making my recipe as I go on a lye calculator. So what I am doing right now is making my recipe. So we're going to go to extra virgin. Is it extra virgin? Let's make sure. I think it is because that's all I get. Yep, extra virgin coconut oil. Okay. So we're going to go in and put 6 because that means 6 ounces because I do ounces on here. So there we go with the coconut oil. So I'm going to put this to the side. Okay. Then I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to mash tare. Then I'm going to start with the lard. I hardly ever make lard soap. But, let's see. There we go. Because I only use it for laundry bars. And I haven't made laundry bars in a very long time. Wow. So we're already at 24 ounces. Almost 24 ounces. And y'all, I ain't vegan. Probably will never be vegan. So I like meat a little bit too much. So I'm sorry if it upsets y'all about me using lard. But I know a lot of people on my Facebook is not vegan. So yeah. So I probably have very few vegans on my Facebook. I'm just going to try to scrape all this out. So, you never, with the coconut oil, you can make a pure coconut oil laundry bar if you want. That is perfectly fine, but I will just tell you this, they do not make pretty soap. So, yeah, I just don't make pure coconut soap because it's ugly and I can't use it on my body. This kind I can use on my body. I try to do multi-purpose. So as I go, I like to write it down. Let's see. Okay. Okay. And then the lard. That's 28 ounces, 0.30. 28.30 ounces. Okay. So I'm gonna type that in to the lye calculator. So let's find lard. Lard is 28.30. Okay, now that I have the oils I'm using put in, I'm going to go next. And then it shows me how much lye I need and how much water I need. So I need 4.28 ounces of lye. Okay. So I'm going to get this. I'm going to measure my lye. Let me get some gloves on. I will just tell y'all, lye burns are not fun. I've had a few. And they're not fun at all. And the way you can make it feel better and stop burning you is with vinegar. I don't have my vinegar out because I'm extremely careful. But normally I have a little spritz bottle for vinegar. Goodness. Air pockets. I have a little spritz bottle of vinegar just in case I do get burnt. Because I have in the past, but I've been a heck of a lot more careful since I've gotten my last burn. Because it was a pretty bad one. I did not like it. But I didn't scar from it, which that's a blessing. So, let me get these gloves on real quick. Okay. So, I'm going to open up my lye, and we need 4.28 ounces. You just got to 2. Okay, we're there. Okay, so we have our lye. Now for the water. Let me actually, I'll put the water in this. Maybe. I'm debating on what I'm going to put the water in, y'all. I'm just going to put it in this. Okay. Let's see. We filter our water. So, because we got some pretty hard water. I didn't even check to see how much I need. So liquid is 9.67 ounces. We're at 8. We went way too far, so I'm going to dump a little bit out. These measurements have to be exact. Okay, we're there. Okay, so we're going to put this to the side. And y'all, when you're doing anything with lye, you do not put the water into the lye, okay? Something you don't want to do. It will explode on you. That's one way I've gotten burnt. I stupidly put the water into the lye. So you put the lye into the water. And my spoon for it has gone missing. There it is. I washed it, that's why. Another thing, you're going to want goggles or a face mask because these fumes are awful. But what I am going to do, I'm going to put this fan on low. It might get a little loud, so I'm not going to talk during this. I am going to stir this. I'm doing this in my kitchen. I always do it in my kitchen. I'm going to stir this while it's in there. And what you want is for it to go clear. So that's what you want. So I'm going to turn this on, y'all. Like I said, I wasn't going to talk, but I'm going to say something. I have let this just sit there before it went clear, and everything like turned into crystals. Like it got everywhere. You don't want to breathe this in. It's very toxic, and it will hurt you. So don't breathe it. The fumes are very strong. So I'm stepping back. I'm just going to stir it. Y'all, if I ever say I'm not going to talk, oh my goodness. It's hard for me to stop talking sometimes. I talk a lot. So I mix everything in this pitcher. So I don't use this for any beverages at all. So, and move my water too. I'm just going to put it in the sink. And the lye solution gets extremely hot. So it takes a little while for it to clear up. I don't know about, but every time I do it in this glass measuring cup, it always, just this glass. I've sterilized it. I've done all kinds of stuff to it. Make sure it was clean. I think I've got it completely clean finally. If y'all hear screaming, that's Annabelle. Her and Samantha have been aggravating the snot out of each other today. And y'all, I learned never to get soap recipes offline. Some people just eyeball it, and you don't want to eyeball it. Okay? If it's lye heavy, it will burn you, and you'll just ruin it. That's why I do the calculator. I like to know how much lye solution I need. I might try to edit this video for the sake of time, because we're already at like almost 13 minutes. I don't know. I don't even know how to edit it. So, especially on my Chromebook. Everything's kind of dark to me. So, with this while I'm standing up, because I have it tilted down so low. So I'm just checking if y'all can see this. That's all. I might tilt it down just a little lower so y'all can see exactly what I'm doing. It's almost clear. It's a lot more clear than it was. So I'm going to stop stirring this. And I'm going to go ahead and put my lard. I'll let my lye solution melt my oils as long as they're kind of soft oils like this. Because I just like the process of it. And I don't want to have to mess up more dishes than what I have to melt it. So I've been having to do cold process, which this is cold process, because my crock pot that I did hot process soap in, I destroyed it. Yep. I got it from the thrift store so I could do my soaps. I didn't want to have to go buy an expensive one and just destroy it anyways and never be able to use it for cooking. So I got one from a thrift store. I had it for a long time. So, okay. It has gotten clear. It's hot. Actually, I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to kind of tilt this up a little so y'all can see a little better now with what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is turning the spoon over like this, sliding. I got too much oil on my glove. Okay, I'm going to go down in there. Well, I can't. So I'm just going to pour very gently into this. Sorry, not rolls. I love making my own soap. I have not had to buy soap in 2 years now. A thing of lard the size I got, I'll tell you what size it is. I got it from Save-A-Lot. It was pretty cheap. It is, how many ounces? 4 pounds. It is 4 liters. So, 4 pounds. It's 4 pounds. Almost all was. A lot of it's already melted. So I'm just going to stir it around so it melts nice and evenly. And it's kind of just turning colors, but that's okay. It's going to be a white soap. It's going to be a nice white soap. And I have a stick blender I use only for soaping. That is actually the reason I got it. I got a cheap one. Well, it wasn't really cheap. It was like $20. But I got it just for soaping. It makes you feel good when you can make your own soap. I mean, I know a lot of people don't have time. I'm not saying everybody has to make soap. But I'm actually going to try to do it the old-fashioned way one day. This is not 100% the old-fashioned way. So the old-fashioned way, you render your own lard. You can go, if you have a farm or if you have animals or anything and you butcher them, and you get the fat, like pig, you get the fat off of it, and you can render your own lard. That's great. That's amazing. I'm actually probably going to go to a butcher and see if I can get all the fat so I can do it. And I want to do it the old-fashioned way so badly, which is how you make lye is you get hardwood ash. You burn it, of course. Put it in a bucket, put some hay, put more ash, put hay, put more ash on top. And then some people just put a layer of hay on the top of it. And you put water in it. And it filters everything and all. But by the end of it, you have lye. And then you want to go heat it up. Let the water discount go down. Or let it go down some with the water. And it turns into lye. So that's something I want to do. And then you can put your lard or whatever with it. And I'll say lard. I'm from Georgia, y'all. Y'all can hear it, can't you? I have a few people from Wisconsin on here. It's already getting to where it's almost tracing. So when it becomes a trace, it's amazing. That's when you can put it into your molds. So I thought about doing a cake one, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to be simple. And I don't have a bunch of colorants and all that kind of good stuff. So this is one thing about it traces a lot faster when you let the lye solution melt the rolls. It takes a lot longer. It's not as hot. So there's a few bits, but I'm going to just blend it up with the immersion blender. I'm going to take my gloves off though. My hands are getting really hot, and I hate the way gloves feel. So here's what we're going to do. Put our immersion blender together, and we're going to go to town with it. It is going to get loud, so if you don't like the noise, you're going to have to turn your volume down. So it has already melted. Everything's melted. It's already starting to trace a little. I like my soap to float. Okay? It's like if I want to take a bath, I don't take very many baths. Being a mom, it's kind of hard to sometimes, especially a mom of a 2-year-old. 2-year-old wants to get in the bath with me. But I like my soap to float because if I do want to take a bath and I'm washing myself and I accidentally drop the soap, I want to float to the top because I don't want to lose it. So I'm weird like that. A lot of people don't like their soaps to float. I don't care. So we've come to a pretty great trace, actually, I think. I actually want to trace it a little more, so bear with me. Okay, I'm just going to be done with that. Okay, I'm going to take this off. Actually, I'm going to keep it on because I forgot to put the tea tree oil in. I'm going to put tea tree oil in it because the antibacterial properties in it. Actually, I'm going to put a good bit of tea tree oil. I don't measure out the drops or anything. I like the smell of tea tree oil too. I think that's plenty. Some of my soaps I thought I put a lot of essential oil in it, and I haven't. So this one I know I did. It smells really good. Okay, alright, trace. Definitely. Some people let it sit. I've let mine sit before, and it does make it float even more because it gets a heck of a lot thicker. I'm sorry for the people that don't like slang words. I talk slang, so you'll have to get over it. I'm sorry. So, what we're about to do, I don't put colorants in my laundry bars either. You don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pour it in here. It's going to make really pretty soap bars. This is actually the first time I've used this mold. Probably going to get a lot more soap molds because I love making soap, and I've thought about just selling a lot more of it. Going like craft shows with it, and it'd be a lot of fun, to me at least. You can barter with it. I've done that with my laundry soaps. Like I make my own, y'all know, as the video I made the other day, I make my own, this is kind of hard to do. I'm burping it. You don't want a bunch of holes and bubbles in your soap. So you gotta burp it. Mine's not as thick as I want it to be. Okay. So I'm gonna put this to the side. There we go. Make some more bars. I don't normally fill these up because I don't like them to be extremely tall. So these are almost full, I guess. My hands are extremely itchy. And it's not from the fly. Trust me. I made sure that stuff did not get on me. I almost did. You don't want to let that get on you either, because the lye is still very awful. So what I'm going to do is getting to the very end of it. I'm going to do kind of scrape it out. Okay. I've already made 32 bars of soap this week. When I make soap, I go to town with it, y'all. I love making soap. It is a great hobby to have, but at the same time, I'm saving us money because when I make soap, it'll last us 2 years or more. And when I make my laundry detergent, it lasts about 6 months. So, alright, y'all. I will do another video of me getting it out of the molds whenever I'm ready to get them out. Alright, I hope y'all enjoyed it.